Hello, welcome to my stream. Tonight we'll be playing more of RollerCoaster Tycoon Deluxe. And last time we were playing this game, we could finally beat one of the hardest levels so far. It was the Pickle Park. I had to use all the strategies I have learned by my own, and also thanks to the help of some viewers and some friends that helped me about the whole game. And then I had to use all I have learned with them to beat that level. It was so freaking hard, but thank goodness we did it. And tonight we'll be heading to the next level, which is Giggle Downs, and we could check it out very quickly. And it seems that it's going to be a 2 years long level, and they want me to get 1,200 people by the end of October year two. And also this level had some roller coasters on it, so I'm expecting this level to not be too hard. Also because they allow me to do advertising, so I will start doing it very fast. So I'm expecting it to be not too hard. Hopefully there won't be many problems or any sort of bad surprises going on during that level, because I'm expecting it to be alright and simple, because we have the coasters, so the coasters will be profitable, they will give us money, we can use the advertisements, we can get the people, right? That's how I'm thinking about that level. So I'm expecting it to be more simple than the previous ones we have been playing, but let's see how it goes. And depending on how it goes, I may play Transistor tonight. I still have two challenges left on that game to beat. I need to see how I'll be feeling and how late it's going to be after this game, so I can go back to Transistor, because I really want to finish Transistor since it's almost like over, right? We are only missing two challenges in there, but they are going to be hard. But anyways, let's see when I will be able to return to Transistor, hopefully tonight. So that said, let's go to the level. Let's remember things up in here. So this is the Jiggle Downs. A four-lane steeplechase ride is the centerpiece of this expanding park. Yeah, because we have those four coasters, I'm expecting this to not be a big deal. My objective is to have at least 1,250 guests in my park at the end of October year 2, with a park rating of at least 600. The biggest problem here, of course, is like the short time, but I couldn't see any big issue going on in this level besides that. So I'm really expecting that the park is going to be successful fast. So let's see if I'm right. Hopefully I am. I will also make some changes in here. Like always, I will get rid of scenery and theming and ride improvements. And maybe I will get rid of roller coasters as well. Yeah, I have the steel roller coaster. I have so many options in here, so I definitely don't need roller coasters research. I also think, yeah, we have food and drinks, so we are good about the food stalls. This looks okay, like I can see the problem, but compared to some other levels we have played in the past, this doesn't look too hard. So do we have stuff? We have stuff. Let me get a little bit more people, because the amount of coasters is a lot. Let's have five handyman. Also, I'm also feeling a little bit sick. I was feeling sick on Tuesday, but I was able to get a little bit better on the next days. But in case, I don't know, I feel a little bit I feel a little bit tired or weak later after some hours of stream. I will need to see if I will be feeling well to play Transistor. I believe I will do my best. But I have to say that I'm also feeling a little bit sick. I'm recovering from a cold. Okay, so am I... Wait, what? What the hell? Is this the trap of this level? Is this the issue of this level? I was about to see if I was getting like, I don't know, $1 or $2 thanks to admission price, but $50 right at the start. So the coasters are for free, aren't they? They are not for free. Okay, so first of all, this is very exaggerated. I don't need this admission price to be 50 bucks. Let's drop it to 10 bucks. If they are paying 50, they can pay 10, right? So let's drop it a little bit in here. That's insane. That was very exaggerated. But I will also start using the advertisements. Let's see. Let's give them free rides on a particular ride. Free rides on Steeplechase 1 for 6 weeks. Do I have Food Plaza in here? No, I have the merry-go-round, I have the 4 coasters, the Ferris wheel. Okay, they have 2 rotations, that's good because I may use the same strategy as last time, that I will make my rides to rotate more, to work for longer so they can keep people inside of them. Even if they get pissed off. Okay, next I need to change the... Oh, never mind, they already have inspections in every 10 minutes. All of them? Yes, I believe all of them. Okay, so now I should focus on a food plaza. This may be a good place to have the information kiosk. I will see when it gets to April if I don't start another advertisement. Let's have yellow umbrellas. Okay, this also looks like a good place to have the food plaza, so let's build it. Oh, they have like a tunnel there? Okay, I believe that's a good start for us to finish the details on this park. Next, I should start building the other rides. I see that we don't have thrill rides. Let's see. Let's start with the scrambled eggs. I really hope this will be an easy level. Because the last time I had the chance to finish the RollerCoaster Tycoon stream soon, I was like underestimating the level and my skills. Or maybe I should say I was underestimating the level, but I was overestimating my skills in this game. Because the level that was like very short and it was 1 year long, I was like, okay, I will beat this level quickly so I can move on to Transistor. And then I got myself playing the level for 3 to 4 hours and playing it 3 times until finally beating the objective. So I don't want to be too cocky and I don't want to raise my expectations about this level that much. But I'm really hoping we can beat it in our first try. I should also consider having somewhat long queues. Not too exaggerated like last level, but at least something like mid-sized to keep people in the park. So now the swinging ship. I don't know, I wanted to build things close to the other rides, but we have so many things going on, like the coasters, we have tons of trees. It's really hard for me to find. Wait, unless I get rid of those trees, right? Okay, that's a good place for the swinging ship. Okay, it is April. I will open this and then I will go change the admission price plus the safest park in the country. Plus doing more advertising. Let's have free food. Hey Victor, how are you doing, man? I'm doing alright. I had a somewhat rough week, but don't worry, it's getting much better now. It's because I got sick on Tuesday, then I had problems to sleep because of that on Wednesday. But now my sleep schedule is returning to normal. I'm still a little bit sick, but I'm much better than how I was in the beginning of the week. But besides that, I'm doing alright, man. The worst was really Wednesday that I couldn't sleep at all because my nose got all congested, so it was hard for me to breathe and to relax. But then after it, I was able to recover a little bit. My nose was getting better. And then from yesterday to today, I could finally black out on my bed and then I could get a very good sleep. But I'll need to keep having those sleeps so I can restore my whole energy, right? Because I'm still feeling the impacts of not having a very good sleeping week, right? But I hope that I will be back to normal very soon. But how are you? How's everything? Have you already started watching Dark? Probably not, right? Meanwhile, I have been trying to convince more people to watch Dark. And I still need to start watching Stranger Things. I decided to watch some animes this week instead. And it was very good. I decided to watch an anime called Anohana that was like a recommendation from a friend. And even though it is a very sad anime, I really liked watching it. Next, I may be watching another very sad anime, which is called Angel Beats. And then let's see what I think about it. I have been in this vibe to be watching some animes. I was considering watching Bleach, but after talking with some people, even people in here on stream, I gave up on that idea because it is too long. It may not be like the best anime for you to watch because it gets worse after the two first seasons. Also, it has a very long start. So I was like, you know what? Maybe another time. Yeah, I'm getting better. It's been a long time since I last got sick, but it's okay. My biggest problem is not like feeling sick. My biggest problem is really not being able to sleep because I hate not being able to sleep. But I do hope I will get back to regular sleeping from now on, right? Your sleep schedule is still totally messed up. Yes, I remember you were having some problems last weekend when I was streaming Tales and you were not being able to sleep by the time you wanted to sleep, right? But don't worry too much, Victor. That happens, and eventually we'll be able to make all the sleeping back to normal. I started getting back on track on Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, mine too. Like Wednesday was the worst, but from Wednesday to Thursday it got better, and then yesterday from today it was like perfect. I even got surprised that I really knocked out. Pilot, hey man, how are you doing? It's been a while. How are you? Thank you so much for the resub. Where are you? I have no idea where could you be right now. Are you in Canada? Are you traveling again? Are you in Asia? Where the hell are you? How's it going, man? You haven't started watching the second season yet. You'll probably do that next week. Alright, Victor, let me know what you think about the episodes, about the show, about the discussions. I can't wait to see your reactions to some events that will happen in the show, and I do hope that you will have the same idea that I had on how the second season it feels much better than the first one because now that you were like prepared and you could understand and you could get used to how things go in the show, the second season is like so good, man. You don't get too lost. You follow things up. There are some things that may be confusing, but not like in the first season. So it is really rewarding. It's a show that really pays back if you are paying attention to it and if you are dedicating your time and your attention to it. It is really, really good. So I do hope you will have this experience just like I had, and you'll be really shocked because of the plot twists. So yeah, man, let me know when you start watching it. Then we started having problems with your favorite guitar. Oh no, what happened, Victor? And you got all anxious about it and you couldn't sleep properly. I'm sorry to hear it, man. What really happened with it? So Pilot is back home at Canada. You get to stay there for another 5 to 6 weeks. That's nice. That's a good time for you to get some rest. Then you'll be sailing and traveling again. Where are you heading next? Are you finally going to Asia? You have been wanting to travel to Asia in a long time. Pilot, I don't know if you like to watch some. I don't even know how to describe this show, but some disturbing, confusing, complex, but very smart and interesting TV shows. I have been talking about this TV show a lot because I'm so addicted to it and it really melted my brain. I was like mind blown after watching it. I can't stop thinking on it. I'm talking about Dark, the Netflix German series. And I highly recommend that show to you if you like to watch some crazy things that are hard to follow, but they are very rewarding and surprising once you start understanding it and you get the hang of it. So I kind of made or forced, right, Victor to watch it. Thank goodness he liked the first season. Now I'm waiting for him to check the second one. But I highly recommend it because it's one of the best shows I have watched recently, especially because on how it's such a smart show as well, and it's so unique, even though it talks about some topics that we have seen in other media, but I still think it has a lot of originality to it. and it is super rewarding for you to understand the show and to try to get what's going on in there. Like I was just saying, it really pays back. So one of the knobs got stuck. You somehow magically got unstuck today, so now it's fine. Nice, Victor, nice, man. So you didn't need to do a lot of work on it. But whenever something's not right with that guitar, you get all worried and stuff. But but then shouldn't you stop playing on it? Shouldn't you start using the other guitars maybe more often? I don't know exactly why do you think it is your favorite guitar. I don't know if you say that because it's the one that you can play the best, or if it is the one that looks the best. But I do hope that it stays alright and it doesn't break because you have been using it too much. But in the end, Victor, I know that it really sucks when something that we like starts breaking or anything like that. In the end, man, I do hope that it stays safe and sound. But even if it has some problems in the future, don't get too anxious, man. Don't get too anxious. It's not like the end of the world. You get other guitars and they will also be super special to you. So I do hope you can stop this anxiety feeling. It's very important for us to kind of detach ourselves. Um, how can I say it? Detach ourselves from things that get us too emotionally stuck to them, because I don't know, sometimes they can really hurt us too much, when it's not very proportional to what's happening. So yeah, man, I do hope you take better care of the guitar. But even though if something happens, don't worry too much about it. Like in the end, it's just a guitar. He's sailing out into the Atlantic for a few weeks of warfare exercises, then a work trip within Canada out to Winnipeg. I have heard of Winnipeg. I remember some years ago there was like Olympics, like Winter Olympics in Winnipeg. I have heard of that place. Victor is glad that I made him to watch it. He's looking forward to watch season 2. I really hope you like it, man. It's the best. You may have to check it out. Currently, we're rewatching all of the Star Treks with the girlfriend, man. Star Trek has how many seasons? I'm guessing it may have at least 10 seasons. It's a very long show, isn't it? It's just that it's the one you have the strongest emotional connection to. It is the one that makes it easiest for you to express yourself, and there is history between you and that guitar that makes it important. Yeah, man, I can understand it, but at the same time, be careful to not be like too dependent on it. I do have things in my place that I'm also very emotionally attached to them, but I don't want them to conquer my emotions very easily at the same time. Especially when they trigger things like you were saying, anxiety, because anxiety really sucks. But I'm glad to hear that the guitar is still doing fine. So why are people getting lost in here? Let me see what's going on. A lot of people are unhappy as well. But Pilot, when you say that you are sailing, you mean that you'll be in one of those big ships, right? Every time someone says I'm going to be sailing, wait, why am I getting security guards? I want entertainers actually. Every time I read the word sailing, I think on someone sailing in a small ship, like by using the wind force. But I know we had this talk before, and you sail thanks to a big ship, like an army ship or something. Have you watched Star Trek, Victor? There are 726 episodes and 10 movies for the older series up to 2005. It's way too late for you to not be too attached to it, You like that guitar more than anyone should like an inanimate object? Oh my god, Victor. Can you share some stories about it? Why that guitar became so important to you? So he's going to be on a warship. So it's like a big tin can. It is great. She's learning to love. She's learning to love. It's not like Pilot has been forcing her. I can say that Victor has been learning to love Dark as well. Though it might be Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. Isn't that the one that? Oh yeah, I remember it now. It's the one that the victim falls in love with the, I don't know, with the thing that's causing pain to the victim, right? Yeah, that's the Stockholm law. Wait, Stockholm syndrome. My mom showed me one episode when you were a kid, but you didn't get hooked. I think I have some serious problems on getting hooked on some sci-fi shows. I love sci-fi, don't get me wrong, but when they are like Star Wars, Star Trek, I don't know, things that have some action going on on space, I think they are not too appealing to me for some reason. I can't explain why. I think I like sci-fi movies, books, and things like that when we have like many questionings about um, the existence of life, the existence of the universe, or if there is like life outside of our planet and stuff. Speaking about that, that reminds me that recently there has been a lot of buzz regarding Area 51, right? Have you guys seen those things going on that people kind of wanted to invade Area 51 to find the truth about everything in there? I don't know if you guys have been checking that out, but earlier today I was watching a video of something very strange that happened even before this whole buzz started. I believe this thing that happened, it happened like 2 to 3 years ago. And it was this guy, this YouTuber, that decided to visit Area 51 for a very weird reason, but it's so strange that I'm kind of embarrassed to share that with you. But it is this guy that has like an YouTube channel about leaking things, and he wanted to go to Area 51 to leak the Area 51, basically. I haven't checked the YouTube channel of that guy, but I was checking one YouTube channel that I follow that talks about weird stuff that are going on. And they were sharing this story there. So that guy went to Nevada, and then he was able to get to the door, or to the gate, actually to the gate of Area 51. And in there he stamped one of his stickers like I was here. So he kind of placed one of his stickers there, like the sticker had his name in there. And I believe he licked the sign or the gate, and he actually stole the gate as well. And then after some minutes, he heard a shot, because definitely someone was seeing that uh, he was being a very weird person, trying to get close to Area 51. Give me a second. Yeah, my nose was starting to run. And then he heard a shot, but he was able to run away, and it seems that nobody got hurt, and also that he didn't get arrested. But I was hearing that story and I was like, what the heck? That was so weird. But then people have been all curious about Area 51 recently. You have seriously problems of getting hooked on phonics? Wait, on phonics? What do you mean by phonics? Well, the thing about that guitar is that it was the guitar that allowed you to express yourself in a way that is you during moments when it was really important to you, whereas no other guitar did that. That's so hard for me to picture, because it's such an abstract uh, thing that you have with that guitar, but it's definitely proving to me that you do have a very strong emotional bond to it. So Area 51 is just where they build or test the highest classification spy planes, like satellites now too. So don't you think they have secrets regarding aliens and flying saucers and stuff? At least Area 51 was known by me because of those aliens stuff or those aliens theories and stories. I do believe in life outside Earth, but I don't believe it happens like we usually imagine it. I don't think it's going to be the green guy with two antennas and stuff. I think it's going to be something very hard for us to picture, and maybe even something more, something that's not human shaped in any sort of way. Maybe something that's like plasma, or I don't know, in a very different body shape. It's not like something too physical. But it's also very hard for us to be sure, right? So Hooked on Phonics is a children's education brand in North America. It's mostly geared towards literacy that had some crazy commercials back in the day. I'm not sure about those commercials, but it makes me think on um, people getting addicted to electronics, maybe. It is an US Air Force base. You totally get that. The bond between a musician and their most beloved instrument is something that you think only some musicians can understand. That's true, man. I kind of wish I knew how to play an instrument. I always wanted to try playing piano, but at the same time, I know how hard it is for you to learn piano. It makes me sad that in other countries, I see many people getting those music classes. I actually had music classes when I was a kid or when I was younger, but they were not like for us to learn how to play instruments. They were more about hearing music together or learning lyrics to sing the musics together. It was a completely different approach. They were not teaching the kids or they were not teaching myself how to play an instrument. They were basically giving us lyrics to sing together. But I can't also say that it was like a core. Is am I pronouncing it right? Sometimes I get confused about that word. I don't know if it is core or coar. It is a very different word and hard for you to pronounce, right? But yeah, my music classes as a kid, they were very simple, and they were not really teaching me important things about music. They were more like a distraction and a way for the kids to feel more relaxed, I would say. So I kind of wish I had the chance to learn an instrument. The ridiculous alien theories of Area 51 have been around for years, just because we like to fill in the blanks when not given any information. Yeah, that's how the rumors start for sure. And aliens captures the imagination and paranoia. Area 51 was established to test spy planes during the Cold War, planes that they wanted the Soviets to know nothing about. That also reminds me that I watched a video. I don't know if it was like yesterday or today. Maybe it was yesterday actually. That was listing the top 10 countries that are the hardest for you to kind of invade them, you know. And then the US was the first one, of course, but Canada was in there as well. I believe Canada was. Um, Actually, I can't remember in which position Canada was in there, but Canada was listed there. There was Russia, of course. What surprised me a lot was Australia being in it. I believe it was like number four or something. But it makes a lot of sense. Like Australia is isolated, so it's hard for army and other military forces to get to it. And it seems that Australia has a lot of submarines and things that could protect the ocean around the country. Not to mention the weather and the harsh environment of Australia because of the desert area in there that can be very bad for people to survive in there without very good conditions, right? I need to do something about these people getting lost in here. I think I will build a new path that will connect that side to the entrance. Plus, I may do something around this lake to also spread people around. And then there was also China. China is also another very hard country for you to kind of invade, but it's not surprising. It's mostly because of the amount of people that are in there. So it's like a very big uh, crowd that would be hard for people to fight against. You know, that also reminds me of something else. Have you guys seen the news regarding what's going on in Hong Kong? I have watched some videos on Twitter about that, and I was like, what the heck is going on in there? I didn't check things like thoroughly, so I'm not sure the reasons and why it's happening. But I was shocked by watching the videos of people simply causing a riot and beating up everybody, like even normal people, kids, babies. It's a mess. There is a whole mess going on in Hong Kong right now. And then earlier today, I saw some news about they protesting and causing some things in airports in there. So it was like, what's going on? It even sounds like a movie, but it's real life though. I think there is very possible that there could be life on other planets. Me too. I also think that somewhere out there we may not be alone. I think it would be too fitting if we were the only ones, you know. And there are so many planets that could have life. They would be able to have life in them. And that there are so much out there that we still don't understand. So I don't think there is life outside Earth. I just don't think it is like we usually describe it. Okay, so how am I going to do this connection? Victor, I have to tell you that some friends they were talking with me about hanging out this weekend, but I'm not sure if I will meet them or not because I'm also feeling a little bit sick, right? But yeah, depending on how things go, there is a small chance that I may not be streaming Tales in one of the days. Or if I'm streaming, it may be a short stream. But it's not confirmed yet, and I don't really know if I will go meet them, so let's see how it goes. Yes, that's what I meant. I don't know how to pronounce that. I heard it recently, but I got like very confused on the pronunciation. The spelling doesn't really tell me, right? I mean, if life could happen on one planet, then surely it could happen on others too. Exactly. And since we have such a vast universe, we do have a lot of chances to it to happen as well somewhere else. Especially considering that space is huge and there are so many planets out there. That's true. Yeah, hanging out with my friends is important, but I don't know if I will be on the mood to it because of being being a little bit sick. I'll see if I will feel more pumped to go meet them. Wait, what's going on? I need to pay more attention here or I'm going to fail this level. The miniature golf. Okay, what about the advertisements? We have two there. If I wanted, I could raise the admission price a little bit. Maybe I should make another coaster, I'm not sure though. And people are still getting so lost. So you think that it is pronounced like fire? Like, but with like KW instead of F? Like, oh yeah, choir? It is choir, right? That's true. That's how you pronounce it. I remember hearing it, but then I forgot it. But choir sounds right. It definitely doesn't make any sense. Pilots, thank you so much for the bit, man. You're number one, yeah. But maybe I don't know. Let's see if we're going to be number one until the end of the weekend. But thank you so much, man. By the way, it is getting hot in here, but I don't want to turn my air conditioner. Only 12,000 more to go for the next badge. Oh my god. Thank you so much, man, for the bits. I don't know if I should turn the air conditioner on because it may get my nose bad. What do you guys think? Should I turn it for a little bit? But it is getting hot in my place. It was cold for many days, but finally my house is not feeling that cold anymore. By the way, Pilot, you haven't played Final Fantasy VI anymore, right? Or have you been playing it like offline? I don't know if you have seen it, but Octopath Traveler was released for Steam. So even though like I don't have a Switch, now I will have a chance to play that game, and I was really curious to play it. So I don't think you have a Switch either, so be sure to check it out on Steam. But then of course first finish playing Final Fantasy VI. Okay, let me focus a little bit more in the game because I'm a little bit lost. I will build the boat higher, then I will try making more path connections in here. Speaking about games, Epic Games is giving away 2 games this week. I don't remember their names, but 2 games are better than 1. So be sure to check them out as well. There was one of those games that got my attention a little bit, but I don't remember the name. But it looked fun. Once again, I will use the strategy of having the rowing boats instead of the canoes. The canoes are my favorite, but I'm having the rowing boats because I can have more boats than canoes in here, so they will keep more people inside of the ride. Hi Yoda, how's it going, man? If I did check the new Fire Emblem, no I haven't, have you? I have heard good things about it. And it's funny that you are mentioning Fire Emblem, because even though I haven't checked Fire Emblem, I have checked that game that has some things in common to Fire Emblem, but I would say it's more common to Advanced Wars. I was checking a little bit of War Groove, Yeah, I was checking a little bit of Wargroove earlier today, and it looks great. Like, it's not a game that I would see myself playing it, but for the fans of strategy games, I think it's looking really great. And I believe it was recently released for the PlayStation 4, even though many months ago it was released for the Switch, right? And then I also learned that it is out for the PC, but I don't know if it was released for the PC long time ago or if it was released now with the PS4 as well. You haven't had a chance? Next up will be the Tale of Sabin. I remember that. Yes, you stopped in a part that you would need to decide which story you would like to follow the most, right? I gotta tell you, Sabin was one of my favorite characters of the game, if not my favorite. But for many different reasons. It was not because of like the game's plot or something like that. It was also because on how I had some struggles by playing with him, thanks to his blitz mechanics that are kind of hard for you to activate or to use. But then later on, I could feel better about that, and he could really help me to progress in the game. You are going to skip Octopath Traveler because the mechanics and graphics look fun, but the narrative and characters they don't interest you. Seriously? Uh, why is that? I was thinking you would say the opposite, like, oh, Octopath Traveler looks amazing, I'm definitely going to check it out. What happened in the narrative and in the characters that you were not too interested? Also, you may be losing a game that has amazing music as well. Let me do some more advertising. But yes, I was not checking Fire Emblem, the Three Houses. I don't think the game is looking great, but I'm not like very used to play strategy games yet. Maybe in the future. And if I would play a Fire Emblem game, I think I would start with the first ones as well. The only thing I really knew about the game going in was that Sabin can suplex a train. That he was strong, right? I don't remember him doing that in fact, but that he was strong, which is enough reason for you to choose his path. I agree, and you won't be disappointed because Sabin is great. He's a very good character. But his mechanics, like I was saying, they are hard to master. Or maybe it's because I'm just bad. There is also that. Maybe you have a better time using his blitz attacks. Thank goodness, I I haven't had another character in the Final Fantasy games that I played later that had blitz attacks like Sabin. At least not yet, because I really struggled with his attacks. The characters seemed very cliche, but Pilot, you're only having like first impressions, man. Don't let your first impressions conquer you. From what you read in the reviews, they don't have much development, don't they? And the overall narrative is disappointing in that they don't intertwine the stories of the character very well. Seriously? Maybe I should check more reviews then, because I was thinking the game was very well acclaimed. I mean, it may not be the perfect game ever, but it's like something that we haven't seen in a long time, like a game that feels a lot like the old Final Fantasy games and has the looks of it. I still think it is worth a shot, but it may not be better than the Final Fantasies. Yoda used to like Fire Emblem and Advanced War type game as a kid. Have you checked this one that I was talking about, Yoda? It's called War Groove. I believe it was developed by the same people behind Stardew Valley. And then I learned today that you can play it on PC because I believe it is on Steam. But then it feels like these games take up too much time. This one, I was checking some YouTube comments. When I was watching the video about it, I was checking the comments, and someone said it's a game that is worth checking out. and it's like 50 hours long according to the person. So I don't know if you think that 50 hours is too much or not too much for you to be playing a game like that. But yes, that's the average the person said in there, like 50 hours. But then it feels like these games, they take too much time and repetitive in later stages. Oh yes, your computer, right? Because you have a Mac. A game needs to be a solid 9.5 or 10 for you to bother these days. You have very limited time to spend on games. Wait, but you were playing that other game, The Legend of Heroes, right? I can be wrong, but from what I have heard, I don't think that game was a 9.510 game. But I can be wrong, I haven't checked that information. I'm just guessing thanks to my knowledge on that game. I think if it were a 9.5 and 10 game, I would hear more things about it. I need to do something about these people getting so lost in here. Guests are hungry? Oh, maybe I should have... Okay, let me do this food plaza there first. And we got the head stall, I completely missed that. Okay, now the food plaza is done. Wait, people are not going there? Let me try making new paths in here. By the way, Yoda, I was able to finish watching Anohana this week. I really liked it. Surprisingly, I did not cry. Maybe because I was kind of prepared for it being a sad anime, but I really liked it. It's very good. Next, I will try to watch Angel Beats. I will see if I can watch it this week. It is a rock solid game for you due to the story so far being a bit more grounded and covering some interesting political avenues. I have the feeling, Pilot, you would not like the game that I have been playing on the weekends, Tales of Symphonia, because the plot is so weird at times, man. I'm not saying the game is bad, I'm enjoying the game, but the plot sometimes it doesn't make any sense to me. And some decisions in there are very questionable. But yes, I don't think you would like that game. That said, there's been some hints at stupid enemies. Wait, at stupid anime-esque, anime-esque. Oh my god, anime-esque. There we go. Anime-esque stuff which might cause you to abandon the game. Not yet, but it's building. Just do your best to not give too much attention to those parts, man. You gotta be able to enjoy those games even though they are not going to be perfect to you, right? Because they are going to have some flaws. It's going to be very hard, if not impossible, for you to find or to play a perfect game. So it is important for you to learn how to how to deal better with some issues the game may have and to not give them too much attention. I gotta be honest, it's been hard for me to not get pissed on freaking Pokemon Sword and Shield, for example, because it's not going to be the game that I was dreaming it to be, thanks to the changes they are doing, the cuts they are also doing. I'm very disappointed, but I gotta try to not like get too frustrated on it and see if it's not going to be a bad game because of those things, right? Like, I'm really mad that we are not getting all the Pokemon on it. And then some good mechanics like the Mega Evolution, it was cut off. And their excuses are lame. Their excuses for the reason why they are doing those cuts. But I will see if I find better things about the game, or if the game has like a good soundtrack and stuff, or good new Pokemon. But yeah, sometimes it is hard for you to ignore the flaws, right? I have been struggling with that for Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I'm a big Pokemon fan, so I know that by the time the game is out, I'm going to be very hyped for it. You can try to watch some clips of fighting action scene for Bleach, since I'm skipping it. But why I would watch the fighting scenes of Bleach? Are they really, really good? Victor loves the plot of Tales of Symphonia, but the characters can be quite stupid at times. Yeah, man, sometimes I'm there screaming, why are you doing that? No, it's going to be like an issue later, it's going to be a problem later, so... But it's been fun because it has a lot of action going on in the battles. The battles are kind of challenging as well. It's been fun to play as the different characters as well. The side questing has been starting to be more rewarding. And sometimes the game is completely silly. So even though the plot doesn't make too much sense, it is funny to experience and to see how bad that's sounding, or how much that's predicting a tragedy to the own characters, like because of their bad decisions. So it's been interesting to play the game, and overall speaking, it's been a good game. It was not like enough to make me hate the game. Pokemon Sword and Shield is the first Pokemon game that has excited you for a long time. I was like that until the news, right? The news, they destroyed me. I understand those news won't affect every person the same way, especially people that usually don't transfer Pokemon for old games and they don't care too much about completing the Pokédex and stuff. I do like those extra things because you guys know how much I love to side quest, for example, and getting all the Pokemon and training them is like a side quest for Pokemon games. So my biggest concern is that after you beat the main game, the main story, Sword and Shield won't give you too much post game. Besides, of course, fighting your friends and fighting people online. To show you how crazy I used to be regarding completing Pokédexes and stuff, after I was able to finish the X and Y game Pokédex, I got like curious about the names of Pokemon in other languages, for example in French and in German, especially in German. And I was trying my best to complete the Pokédexes in German and in French, and I got close. I got really close. So I was basically going to the Pokemon server that you can find which Pokemon people out there are trying to trade. I was doing my best to get the freaking German and French Pokemon from there. And then I was training them, involving them, completing the German and the French dexes. It was fun to me to do that, even though it was a small thing. And then there are also the people that will only play competitively by using the OP Pokemon and the crazy badass Pokemon that they definitely won't cut. I can't see them cutting the most popular and strong Pokemon from this game. They will probably make cuts on the forgotten Pokemon and Pokemon that people don't give too much attention. But I love to train those shitty Pokemon and beat the pros by using the shitty Pokemon with some very good strats. That's how I have the fun, or how I really enjoy playing Pokemon. I like to surprise people. You see this Vileplume that nobody cares and he's like never used. I beat people by using Vileplume. I beat like Venusaurs. I beat like crazy hard Pokemon by using a freaking Vileplume. Or at least I try. So I love to play Pokemon like that. I love to use the shitty Pokemon and have fun by using them. Like Bidoof and those things. Not to mention the people that like to play Pokemon by challenging themselves, for example, by following the Nuzlocke rules. I still need to play, and I want to play something like a Nuzlocke on stream someday. I still need to play it for my first time. But yes, when you have like all the Pokemon, they will give you more variety to Nuzlocks and to those challenges. But then, of course, I know there are like 1,000 Pokemon. It's going to be more than 1,000, it seems. Um, so you have the variety, but I wish I had them all. Like I wish I could pick the ones that I would like to use. And early, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for the resub. 25 years? Not 25 years yet, man. But how's it going? How are you doing? How's your Friday? How's everything in there? I'm feeling a little bit sick, man. I got sick on Tuesday, so I'm recovering from that. I believe it is like a cold. But I'm doing alright. It was worse, or I was feeling worse on Tuesday. You're glad that the weekend is there? Are you tired, man? Were you working a lot? That's okay, I'm already recovering, and what was bothering the most was that I couldn't sleep very well this week thanks to my nose getting congested. But now I could sleep very well from yesterday to today, so I'm hoping that it's going to be like that for the weekend. And I'm taking care of myself regarding my nose and this cold, so don't worry, I will be fine. I even prepared, or I even made a very good juice today. I made passion fruit, lemon, and honey juice. So that combination will definitely give me some vitamin C and will protect me. I have been also taking some medicine, so I'll be alright. It's just that I don't. All I ask is to sleep. Like sleeping is my first priority in life. After I started having some insomnia and anxiety problems, sleeping became like my priority in my life because when I don't sleep, it really sucks. But even though when I don't sleep very well, I have been dealing better with the situation. You slept this morning in lieu. I have never seen that word in lieu of sleeping. But I'm glad that you were able to rest, man. And then I hope you do have a great weekend. Wait, in but what's in lieu? Do you mean like instead? Oh, it's pronounced lieu. So in lieu of streaming? Oh, so you decided to get some rest instead of streaming today. I see. In place of, I got it by the context, but I have never seen it before. Let me write that down. And you're going, pilot? All right, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to talk to you later. And yeah, man, take care. Thank you so much, man. Let me write that down. Also, enjoy Star Trek. Enjoy watching Star Trek with the girlfriend. Maybe someday I get there too, but not yet. So what happened in the park? I completely lost things in here. We got 800 guests, that's a good amount, but we have many problems going on, right? Yeah, I believe I'll need to make my gentle rides and thrill rides cheaper, or at least some of them. And hey Remito, how's it going, man? You could almost beat Metroid 4 in under an hour? Metroid 4 is which one? Is it for GBA? Also, early, have you been playing any other games besides the written ones? Like maybe offline? Have you been playing some other games? Because it's been a while since I last have seen you streaming other game than Pop and Music or Beatmania. I wonder if you have been playing any interesting game offline. Oh, Metroid 4 was Fusion? That was for GBA, right? I don't know if it is like a very hard game. Maybe you can beat it quickly because it is easy. I'm not sure. Or if it is just because it is short. Oh, they are also complaining about the prices for the coasters. Some people need to go to the bathroom. They are complaining about the prices for a haunted house. I believe I was able to fix most problems, but I need to be careful because we only have this year now. Most Metroid games can be beaten quickly, under 2 hours? You mean the normal ones, right? You're not referring to the Prime Metroid... Wait, Metroid Prime games as well. What else can I do in here? We got the go-karts. Let me find a place to build the circus. You know what? Maybe I should save the game because remember last time I was playing this and the game crashed? I don't want that to happen again. I hope it won't because I was able to make some changes on my computer, but I don't want to risk it. So not the Prime games, those are under 4 hours. Metroid prides itself on beat this game quickly. So you'd say that it is easier for you to beat Metroid fast than Castlevania, for example? By the way, Remito, have you checked Wargroove? I was talking about that earlier with Yoda because I was watching a video about that game, Wargroove. That that is like the Advanced Wars spiritual successor. And the game looks good. Maybe you would like it. And it is out for PC, it seems. Oh yeah, easily? So Castlevania is like harder. Um, Let me try building. Where is it? the maze. You haven't checked it out yet? You are aware of it? It looks great. I mean, it's not my game, but it looks great for what it's trying to do, right? Although now people are all crazy for Fire Emblem Three Houses with reason. So maybe it's not the best time for you to be checking that game out, unless you can't play Fire Emblem Three Houses. And then it works like a replacement. This is going to be a short maze. Let me go check the advertisements. Okay, they are all working. You're a bit burned out on war games. You spent entirely of May, June, and some of July on Advanced Wars 2. There's just so many maps in that game. That's how I felt. Yeah, Yoda was saying that he gets tired on playing some repeated levels on those games. I don't know if like Fire Emblem games they have like tons of levels as well. What I could see is that the levels they get really hard and long, but not like I don't know about the amount of them. But yeah, maybe you guys should take a break for sure if it's been pushing you too hard. Once again, I will say it, that's why I play other games before starting another JRPG on this channel, because I do need a break. Especially when it's like games from the same franchise. I could do it when it was like Bomberman, because I was expecting them to be shorter games. They were kind of short, but some of them gave me more trouble than what I was expecting. But otherwise, when it's like Final Fantasy, I need a break before starting another Final Fantasy, or I'll be playing Final Fantasy for 6 months straight. Not saying that's going to be bad, but I think I would enjoy the games the better if I... Wait, I would enjoy the games the best, right? I would enjoy the games the best if I could have a break, or if I could take a break. Speaking about games, Remito, have you played or were you able to beat Goof Troop? That may be the next game after Tales of Symphonia, and I'm scared of it being too hard. Because it is a Disney game, so Disney games are tough. I would love to beat that game without using save states, but I wonder if I will need to. And by the way, we got to 1,000 guests, so we are only missing 200. I believe we'll be alright in here. We have time, we have money, so we may be alright. You have never played Goof Troop? It's actually very, very good. I have played it as a kid, but I could never beat it. You tend to stay away from Disney games. You know why Goof Troop was great? Because it was very like Zelda Link to the Past, to be honest. I mean, not regarding the dungeons, because I don't remember the dungeons very well, but it was a game that had puzzles, And when you were in the overworld, maybe not overworld, but when you were playing the game, it felt a lot like Zelda. Like when you are not inside a dungeon, you know. Maybe it is like Zelda as well when you are doing the dungeons in Goof Troop, but I can't remember the dungeons very well. I think you would like Goof Troop if you like Zelda Link to the Past. And it is a very good game for you to play with a friend for sure, because you can play it in two players mode. That's making you less encouraged to play it. You hated A Link to the Past, so yeah. So don't play it. If you hated A Link to the Past, then don't play it. Twilight Princess was your jam. I do hope that I can play it someday, but I will need to see how my computer is going to handle that game. I'm not very positive about it. I used to hate A Link to the Past too, but it was mostly because I didn't know what to do, where to go. So basically, I got lost, and I was only dying, and then I got frustrated, and then I decided to never play Zelda again. Until many years have passed since then, and people were saying things like, "Oh, Ocarina of Time, it's the best game, it's so good." And then little by little was maybe I should check this Ocarina of Time thing to see what it is about. And yes, at first I was like, okay, this is looking good, but I can't see myself playing it. So I decided to watch people playing it, and it felt like it was a movie to me. I felt like I was watching a movie, especially because the person was like playing it, and the person knew where to go, what to do, so there was no interruption in the plot. And then when it was over, I was like, okay, I can understand a little bit why people like this game, why people can like Zelda. And then eventually I decided to give A Link to the Past another shot. It was actually the first game I streamed in this channel. Even though I don't recommend people to go check that out because the quality is insane bad, so don't go check that out. But it was the first game that I streamed. And thank goodness I had a much better experience with it. Because now I could understand English, so I was able to finally not get stuck many times because I got stuck once in there. And I could enjoy the game more. So today I do like A Link to the Past. But I do prefer the 3D Zeldas. Especially Wind Waker, but also Majora's Mask. The reason why you hate A Link to the Past are the mechanics. You hated how you had to be inside the enemy to hit them. It had bad hitboxes. I don't know about that, but okay if you're saying. Like, even if it had bad hitboxes, I would say that hitboxes in Zelda 1 would be worse, in my opinion at least. But that's not enough to make me don't like the game. One thing that I need to test is after these changes my computer got, if I will be able to play DS games better. And if I can, I could consider playing the game that many people say it's bad, but it's still Zelda, so I want to check that out. I could see if I can play Spirit Tracks, but I'll need to test some DS games on my computer. Okay, so I finished the go-karts. Before anything else I need to advertise. Yeah, Spirit Tracks. You have never touched it? Yeah, I have heard that everyone hates it, but it's still Zelda, so I'm pretty sure there are good things in the game. It may just not be as good as the other ones. And personally speaking, I think that even though the game is not like that great, when I'm streaming the game and when I have like interaction with people here, they help me to like the games more. Or especially when I'm having like a tough time in a game that gets super hard or stuff. Streaming makes the games better to me, in my opinion. Especially, for example, Chrono Cross. One of the reasons why I like Chrono Cross more than Chrono Trigger was because of the whole streaming thing and how fun it was to interact with people during that playthrough. Maybe if I was, or maybe if I were playing Chrono Cross offline, maybe I could have preferred Chrono Trigger than Chrono Cross. So streaming was like a big part of why I loved Chrono Cross more because I thought that the streams were more fun than the Chrono Trigger streams. So maybe if I'm playing a game that may be not that great, streaming may be able to help me out to enjoy the game more. But I'll need to see if the game is going to run well on my computer. If I'm going DS games, I should do Phoenix. I would prefer going to the remakes then because I did play the trilogy. I have played all the Phoenix games, but the Miles Edgeworth one and the exclusive Japanese one game as well, right? There is an exclusive Japanese game. But if I had to play the Phoenix games again, I would prefer playing the remake. I should play Chrono Cross offline. Yeah, I beat the game only once. I know that I was missing the other endings. Gotta get all of those characters. I mean, I have seen some other people playing Chrono Cross, so I was spoiled on some endings and stuff. But I don't know if I would 100% it myself. Yes, I have heard of Pokemon Conquest. It is a strategy, right? It is like... Is it like Final Fantasy Tactics? I'm not sure. But that's the idea or the impression I get from it. I have never played it. Should I try it? I was when I think about Pokemon games that I have never played, the ones that come to my mind first are Pokemon Colosseum, Pokemon XD, those weird Pokemon games for the GameCube. But Pokemon Conquest, I never considered playing it. Maybe it could be a start for me to play Tactics games. It was fun. Hi Rion, how's it going, man? How are you doing? I'm doing alright. I'm just feeling a little bit sick, and I'm a little bit tired as well because I had some sleeping problems during the week. But now I'm recovering and I'm feeling better. I was feeling worse on Tuesday and on Wednesday, so now it's alright. I will eventually get my sleep back to where it was. But how are you, man? Weird Pokemon games? I really miss playing Pokemon Ranger. Are you guys fans of Pokemon Ranger? Actually, fun fact, I streamed the first Pokemon Ranger back in the day. I believe it was the first non-Zelda game that I streamed because I was only playing Zelda games like in a row. I was playing A Link to the Past, then I played Wind Waker, or at least part of Wind Waker because I was playing it offline, but I was able to bring it to the stream. And by the way, we made it. We got to 1,200 guests, so now we just need to keep that amount and get to October. Actually, we're missing 50 guests, right? Because it is 250. Yeah, it's 250. But we do have time, we do have money, we are good in here. So thank goodness this level was easy. So that will give us time to play Transistor afterwards. Your wife has so many sleeping problems, I feel you. I'm so sorry to hear that, Rio. I do hope she has been doing some things to help her to fall asleep. Thank goodness yesterday, for example, I decided to head to bed earlier, but not necessarily to fall asleep earlier. I just decided to get away from electronics and head to my bed and see what would happen. I would probably be reading or Okay, maybe I would still be checking some things on my cell phone, but without brightness. I would get out of the brightness. I would minimize it or decrease it to the minimum levels. And yeah, thank goodness, like I got to my bed and I simply slept very quickly. And then I woke up like, wait, did I sleep that fast? Because I was freaking tired. Um, I was accumulating um, some tiredness. And then yesterday I got to my bed even though I was not feeling sleepy at first, but I was tired. And then somehow I simply fall asleep without uh, getting 100% prepared to falling asleep. One example was that the lamp that I have next to my bed, it was left on because I was planning to read. I was planning to do something that would make me feel more sleepy, but didn't have the time for that because I got to the bed and then I slept. So I was glad that happened, but I still need to rest myself or to get some more rest in these next days. She missed a whole day of work on Thursday. I'm so sorry, man. We got burgers at like 5 a.m. Wait, but were you also awake? You were accompanying her during the late night? Is that the roguelike? What's the roguelike? More ads for drinks than two? Let's go. Do I need them? I can advertise the park. More food plazas? Oh my god, Rian came ordering some food. Let's have another food plaza then. We have one there, we have one down there. Let's have one there, right? I don't think we have an ice cream stall, so that it is. Wait, disgusting state? Okay, I'll need to hire more handyman. But I was talking about Pokemon Ranger, right? I do like Pokemon Ranger and I miss playing them. But there were only 3 games if I recall it. For some reason, Pokemon Company decided to stop releasing Pokemon Ranger games. And then they were focusing on Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That is okay, but it's not my favorite. Tell me something. If you had a phone or computer in the background playing a movie, that would distract me. Yeah, that would distract me. I don't like noises. You were also awake, man? Why would someone recommend that before Bastion? I mean, I do want to play Bastion, but by the way, I was thinking about Bastion and I may take a break. Um, because I believe Bastion and Transistor may be very close to each other. I may take a break. I was considering playing Bastion before Final Fantasy IX or either adding it to the Friday streams. I may not do it right now. I may only play Goof Troop and Space. Wait. Space Station Silicon Valley, and then I will go to Final Fantasy IX. But Bastion would like still be for later because Transistor has been taking forever for me to beat it. So I feel like I need a break. And also I would be able to give more attention to RollerCoaster Tycoon. You feel like the 2 games are somewhat different? No, no, no. I don't think they may be connected because of the lore. I was thinking they would be connected thanks to the mechanics. Or the style, yeah. More attention to RollerCoaster Tycoon. I love this game, man. I really love this game. And sometimes people want me to like start a new level in the same day, but uh, it hasn't been like that because The levels have been very hard in general. Thank goodness this one is chill. So if I didn't have like Transistor to play after this game, I could start a new level tonight. Because this level is going to take me 2 hours only. Since we are beating it in our first attempt. Man, a lot of people are complaining about the path. And RollerCoaster Tycoon allows me to chat a lot as well. It's the game that gives me the most freedom to be chatting. Transistor used to be like that as well. I could chat during the game. But now that I'm facing some very hard challenges, it's really important for me to focus on the game. Have you ever considered doing a short stream or something where you just boot up and play like 5 different games and play them for like 20 minutes? I do have been thinking about some different streams, Rion, I won't lie. My problem is that I'm afraid of getting too tired, you know? And I also need to take care of my health, like if someday I have like a crazy insomnia and then I feel too tired thanks to that, I won't be feeling very well to be streaming. Also, there are some streams that will be over in a super late time, for example, especially the ones regarding Tales of Symphonia or the ones on the weekend. And then I need to be careful to not lose my time to go to the bed and stuff. I do have ideas of other different streams, ideas that may even not work very well to my channel, to be honest, but ideas that I would love to try just to have fun. For example, I do have this weird idea on my mind of playing some indie, crazy, not well known games, for example, that may be surprisingly good or maybe not. But I do have this idea of playing some very weird ass games. I would love to be testing those games out because who knows, maybe one of them is like a hidden gem, you know? I would love to have like a day to be playing games like those, but I know that some people would not stop by because, oh, I have never heard of that game. Oh, this game looks like shit. Things like that. So I do have some ideas, but I don't have the days to do it, and it worries me because it would be too demanding to me, you know. Yeah, I do like playing RollerCoaster Tycoon because it's very chill. Usually it's not stressful, only sometimes that the game goes crazy in a very hard level. But usually it's very chill, it's not stressful, I can chat a lot if I want. And it is very... Um, it's very relaxing for you to be building the rides and building your park. It's very charming. It's a very charming game. And also, one good thing about this game as well is that every level is its own thing. So basically, it's not like Tales of Symphonia that if you have never checked the game before, or if you, I don't know, if you are not following the game since the beginning, you will be completely lost. In here, you can stop by today, you can stop by in 2 months, and the game is going to be like the same, and everyone will quickly understand what's happening. But in Tales, for example, I don't know if someone stops by like tomorrow and the person has never seen the game before, I will need to tell the person, hey, maybe you shouldn't be watching this because you get spoiled, we are super far ahead in the game. So this game is good for that as well, you know. It allows people that are not too interested on the RPG game to stop by and not care too much about following the plot very well. Because in here, every time is a different thing. It's its own thing, so it's good for getting people together. That's something you like about my channel? I appreciate that, man. It makes sense to want to stick to my announced schedule. Ideas don't work if you don't try them. That's true, but I would love, like I was saying, I would love to have this crazy day to play weird ass games, because not only I do have some weird games on my mind, but also some of them are already on the list. There are some games that may not interest everyone, but I do have some sort of curiosity to play them. I can give you some examples of very crazy and I don't know, maybe even underrated games that I have played in the past that were surprisingly great. For example, Ship Raider. Have you guys ever heard of Ship Raider? It also has a different name. I believe it's also called as Ship, Dog, and Wolf in some countries. It depends if it is like the American version or if it is the European version or something. It is a Looney Tunes games, and it is a mix of puzzle with platforming. That game was very fun to play, and some people stopped by when I was playing that game. For example, Pilot, he was actually also helping me to beat some levels and to solve some puzzles. And then Geo as well, we always talk about how those streams and how that game was so fun for us to be playing. There are some people on YouTube that go watch the VODs of Ship Raider on YouTube, but then that those people are more like part of the Ship Raider community out there. But most people definitely would have never heard of it, maybe would never give it a shot, because it is an old game, it's underrated, it's a Looney Tunes game, so it's not like they're in their preferences, you know, it's not like getting to their attention to try such games. But I do have some very weird games and simple games like that to play, and I can see myself maybe getting having fun, right? Maybe having fun by playing them. I can give you another example of a game that I have been super curious about recently, and I can't say that I would be able to play that game today, but hopefully in the future. The reason why I'm saying this is because this game that I'm going to mention, it is a Japanese exclusive game, so the fans and the people are still working on a fully translation to English of that game. There is a project, but I don't think the project was finished. Okay, so I need to remember the name of the game. Let me confirm. I do have an idea, but I want to confirm to give you the right name of it. Actually, give me a second because I do have it on my computer. I can check it right now. The reason why I got curious about this game is because I was watching a curiosity video, a video that talks about some funny things and curiosities and trivia about video games on YouTube. And they were discussing about Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. And I didn't know that Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga was based on another game. Like it was not 100% original. Nintendo. Okay, I found it. It's called Tomato Adventure, and it's a GBA game just like Superstar Saga. So the developers of Superstar Saga, they they made this Tomato Adventure game, and they released it only in Japan. But Nintendo wanted to do an RPG, or they wanted to create a new RPG game with Mario and Luigi, and they asked Alpha Dream, the developers, to make Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, but they wanted to kind of copy the easy and fun mechanics of this Tomato Adventure game. So I was checking the Tomato Adventure game, and it looks super great. Like, it's simple, of course, but I could totally see the connection between the two games, Mario and Luigi, that I like to play, and the Tomato Adventure one. So I was like, I want to play this original game as well because it looks fun. It's just like Mario and Luigi. It's about food, which is a topic that we really like to discuss in here. So sure, I would like to play it. But first, I don't know if there would be people interested in watching that. Second, I'm waiting for the full translation, right? I could try playing it in, I don't know, part of it being Japanese and part of it being in English, and then we here would try our best to understand the game, just like what we have done with Bomberman Arcade Edition, Bomberman 64 Arcade Edition. At first it was only in Japanese, but then once we got the patch and then we could translate the game, it felt much better for us. But yes, there are some crazy weird games that I would love to try them, but I don't know if they would be too appealing to people. But maybe if I had this weird day to be streaming those weird games, not necessarily completing them, although I know myself I would love to finish what I start, but to have, I don't know, new things going on at least, right? And weird things. But anyways, that's something that I was thinking about, although I still can't see a solution unless I mix things up a little bit more. But getting a new streaming day, maybe it would be too much for me at the moment, because I do worry about getting too tired or not feeling very well thanks to some insomnia or anxiety or whatever things, whatever could be happening to my health during the week. Regan, do you watch Stephen Plays on YouTube? Because he does have something like what you're saying. Or even Draco, right? Draco plays 30 minutes of games that we recommend him to play on Wednesdays. But I was thinking on Stephen Plays because he plays 20 minutes of new games just to have first impressions of them. And the Wargroove game that I was talking about, for example, I watched it thanks to his YouTube channel. He was getting the 21st minutes impressions of it. So yeah, it's something like that. But I, personally speaking, I would like to beat the games, unless they get too frustrating and then I riot. Also because that's the main theme of this channel, right? I will go for beating the game, or I will go for I did my best and I can't and it's over. I would not only go for first impressions, you know. At least not, that's not my main idea. Let me see what did you guys say. I guess that's what works so well with like Super Mario Maker 2. I have the feeling that Super Mario Maker 2 is just like this game, really. Of course, they are different games because of their genres, but it's what I was saying. Like they are charming. They don't need people to be following like a plot since the beginning. Each level is its own thing and stuff. It's relaxing, or depending on which level you play in here or in Super Mario Maker 2, it can be stressful, but overall speaking, it is relaxing. And they are simple. They are simple to play, fun to understand, and that's it, right? I can see a connection between both. Wait, you know Ship Raider, Rian? Only problem is that it's expensive unless they are ROM games on emulator. So far, I can only play either emulated games or games on PC, right? I don't have video game consoles or even a capture card, so far everything is that is in the channel is either emulated or from Steam or from a PC platform. You notice that I have 90-hour RPGs mixed with 20 hours games mixed with 3-hour games. Wait, are you talking about the variety of games that I have played? Yeah, I do have some games that are very short, for example, or I have played some games that were very short, for example, some Bomberman games, especially the ones for the Super Nintendo. But RPGs, yeah, they are insane, like they take me more than 100 hours to finish them. And then there are some 20 hours games, yeah, maybe the Nintendo 64 games, maybe some Super Nintendo games as well. In the end, I will never know which games will be too long for me to finish them, or how long they will take me to beat them. There is another thing though that I have to admit. I'm not a big fan of changing games in the same day. For example, I have been doing it with this game and Transistor, but if I could, I would love to play both in different days. Because I do like to prepare myself and the games and the computer and everything, like have the perfect setup for the games instead of, oh, I will be back in 5 minutes, let me close everything and then prepare everything back to return. If I can avoid that, it would be the best to me. I like to have focus, right? That's the game of the day, that's what we're playing, and that's it. Unless, of course, an unexpected thing happens, right? An unexpected thing happens, and we'll need to change the game. For example, the last thing that happened was when I was trying to stream um, What Remains of Edith Finch, but the game was not working very well on my computer. Then I decided to go to Bomberman 64, the second attack. Stream all day, every day without sleep. I can't, man. I would love to have that energy, but I can't. For me, though, something like playing a bunch of games for a short time would be like a one-off. What do you mean a one-off? Do you mean uh, that's not good for you? I believe that's what you're saying, right? We are going to check it out. Do you mean Stephen? Stephen plays? What about YouTube videos stream? Nope. A one-off, not like a turn-off? As in you do it only one time? Oh, I see. That happened to me with my favorite game, actually. I played Mario RPG on stream only in one single stream, and since then I never returned to Mario RPG. It's like something you just do once. That sounds like a one-hit wonder. Did I say it right? I believe I said it right. It's one-hit wonder, right? That those people that they make a song and then it's their only big hit. Yes, I believe it is one-hit wonder. And speaking about big hits, Rip Merry-Go-Round. Yes, one-hit wonder. I play I play one game and then I get 2,000 viewers. To be honest, real I hope that day doesn't come. It's weird for me to say it because I'm a streamer, so I should think about my channel growing. I do care for that, but I can't handle 2,000 people, man. That's off limits. I don't want to have like a to not be able to keep track of what's going on and to not give attention to people here, you know? I prefer things more chill, more casual, and less intense than 2,000 people happening on the chat. I don't even watch big streamers. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I know there are things you could do. For example, you could like, oh, it's sub only chat. For example, you could limit the text on your channel and stuff. But I don't know. The idea doesn't really it doesn't feel appealing to me because it's like 2,000 people that I may not be able to really know them. Um, Even though when it's like few people, it is hard for you to know the person as well. But 2,000 people is like too much, you know. You watch Andy's streams, but you prefer his YouTube videos. Yeah, you like Twitch to interactive streamers. Me too. That's what I believe the biggest difference between YouTube and Twitch. I know some people do use Twitch to check gaming and to check like I don't know the games that they love as well, more than interacting or more than being part of a community and stuff. But YouTube does that better in my opinion. YouTube is like it goes right and straight to the gaming that you're looking for, and it's more organized as well because of the edition the YouTuber will be doing, and he will be able to like edit the videos properly, while on Twitch it's more casual and it's more like, I don't know, of course streamers do take care of the quality, but sometimes things can go in crazy directions, like unexpected ways. So it's not like 100% quality guarantee, but YouTube has like it more right, in my opinion at least. But in here it's great to be talking about any sort of things, especially gaming, and to be sharing this love to games with other people, especially the games that you remember playing the most as a kid and stuff. For example, I have been super happy to see that many people also love this game that I'm playing right now, RollerCoaster Tycoon. They used to play this a lot as a kid, and I also made some people replay this game or get more hyped to play it or even buy it. Rian right there, he bought RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, right? Have you still been playing it, Rian, by the way? But yeah, I believe that's the biggest difference regarding Twitch and YouTube. And with critical roles like 30,000 viewers, you know Caleb, and then he gets between 1K to 3K, and he's pretty in control of his chat. I don't know if I would be able to do that, because you know why? Because I do give people a lot of attention. So basically, I can stop everything I'm doing to start debating about something. Maybe if I was like more short on answers, then I may have better chances of handling more people. But it's because I do stop what I'm doing to start rambling and babbling about stuff, you know. And then I don't know how long what I'm saying is going to last. But I don't necessarily focus on giving short answers. And hello, Gabriel, how are you doing, man? Gabriel, did you watch the Netflix adaptation, by the way? You know that I'm talking about Senseiya, right? If I want a good anime, I watched Anohana. I was able to watch Anohana, and I may watch Angel Beats this week. Yes, I'm planning to start watching Angel Beats. I have been feeling um, excited to be watching more animes recently. I may not stop watching animes anytime soon, but I have never watched Dumbbell Nun Kilo Motero. And by the way, Remito, I remember one crazy anime that you told me the name of it. It was something about girls and dungeon. I believe I saw it on Netflix these days, or in one of these days. Or if it was not that one, another one that you have mentioned before. It's a very long anime name. If I'm near the end, wait, near the end of what? Roller Coaster Tycoon? Not yet at all, man. This game, this game will never end. I mean, I'm almost finishing the first expansion pack's levels, but I will be starting the second expansion pack levels, and then there are some extras as well. So yeah, such thing does not exist. To be honest, Gabriel, I watched it. It is bad because of the things we knew it would be bad for, like the changes and some things that they have added that make no sense to us. So yeah, those things were bad, but the good things were good, in my opinion. It was not all bad, especially the throwbacks and the backstory regarding the characters. Every time they were like getting deeper into the characters' story, the scenes were amazing. They were just like the original. They brought me some nostalgia, especially in the final episode, like in episode number 6, the last one that they were releasing. That episode, I have no complaints about episode number 6, because it was all about Phoenix Iki, and they showed the things happening in How is it called in Portuguese? I can't remember. Oh yeah, the Deaf Queen Island, right? Deaf Queen's Island. They were showing us all the things from the original, just like the original, and looking great, in my opinion. So some things were messed up, yes. And I now could understand why they have changed those things. It's because they wanted to hit today's generation. They were not trying to appeal the the generation that have watched the originals. There are things in there that the people that watch the originals will like, for example, me, but their main target are the people from today, are the kids from today. Even the Portuguese dub was very, um, how is that word in English? I don't know the English word, but Gabriel, you understand Portuguese, so I will say that in Portuguese to you. I thought that the Portuguese dub was very ousada. Yeah, they were very ousados. They were very. Eles foram muito ousados. There we go. I don't know how to say that in English. I can't get the word now. They were. Um, I don't know, brave? It's something close to brave. It's when people they try things out that they have never tried before and they give it a shot, you know? Do you guys have a word for that? It's like they were risky, maybe. Maybe risky. Risky so far is the closest thing I could get to the word that I wanted. Audacity, maybe. They were audacious then. But the Portuguese dub was like very audacious because they included memes and references from today in the middle of the show, and I was like, what? Those characters are using those words, they are using those slangs, they are referencing those memes. So I was like, yes, they are definitely trying to hit the audience or the kids from today, not me. Because back in my day, they were not saying those things, they were not using those words, those memes were not a thing. But yes, the Portuguese dub has a lot of memes. A lot of memes. So that really surprised me. It did not bother me, but I was not expecting it to happen. They were bold, so bold is the word for that. Yeah, they tried something that I was not expecting. And it was risky because I'm definitely sure that some people may have hated the changes. Let me go back to the chat because I got completely distracted by Senseiya right now. It's one of my favorite animes. Yeah, Senseiya is well known in Brazil, Korea, European countries, also Latin America. Also Latin America, Gabriel, because one thing that I could not understand in this new adaptation, for example, was a scene that the main character of Senseiya was wearing a sombrero. And then I was like, why is he wearing a sombrero? And then I was watching some discussion videos on YouTube, and they said in there, oh yeah, it's because they were trying to please, or it was like um, a small reference to the Latin American fans, right? Especially the Mexican fans. So I was like, oh, okay, so they add the sombrero so the fans could get happier. I was like, why is he wearing a sombrero? But it's because they wanted to um, do something nice to the Mexican fans. There is an amusement park anime called Amaji Brilliant Park. How is that like, Yoda? I have heard of the reboot, but I don't think I used to watch that as a kid. It even mocked the fan base of the original reboot in one episode, calling them Mother's Basement Dwellers. If anything, the Netflix series at least will push people to go after the original material. That's true. Yes, that's true. But Gabriel, to be very honest with you, this is something that I also told my friends. Um, if you remove the nostalgia glasses, or if you don't wear the nostalgia glasses, the first part of the original Saint Seiya it's not that great. So even though the first part of this one is also not that great, I realized that it's okay because yeah, in the original, even though it's like my favorite anime and my childhood memories, they all go for that show and stuff. It's not that great. It's kind of dumb, simple, weird. There are lots of fillers, and then it gets good when things get serious. And that was the same feeling I got from this adaptation. When they were like doing the character introductions and um, I don't know, trying to make fun of some things, I was like, oh, this is boring, this is bad. But then when the things they got serious, they, in my opinion, they did it right. For example, when they were explaining the backstory of the characters, when they were showing us the past of those characters, or when the battles were getting more serious as well, you could understand the characters' reasonings. For example, that was done well in my opinion. But the beginning of the Sensei, the original, was also very bad. Like in my opinion, it was not that great. Was it better than the one I have watched? Probably, but was not the greatest part of the show. It gets better only later. And then I'm hoping that the Netflix adaptation will treat or will consider the show more seriously, just like some scenes that I have seen that I have liked. And then it's going to be awesome as well, because they will be treating the show more seriously, just like the original. But anyways, speaking of the match, new episode 3 hours ago. Alright, Remito, have fun. I hope it's a great show. It's a great episode. Even if the Sensei thing wasn't that great and seemed more targeted at a much younger audience, yes, it is super targeted at a younger audience. But later it gets good, man. The beginning of it will be very childish, but there is an arc that gets really, really good. And I wouldn't say that arc is only for kids. The beginning is definitely for kids. Like you have to be patient. You should be watching that with your son or with your kid. But the most important arc of the show, I don't think that's only for kids. That's very good. It is kind of like Bleach. It gets amazing when going to Soul Society, and then Sensei gets great. Yeah, Sensei gets great when they're going to the 12 temples. Yes, that's the best part of Sensei, and that's not only for kids. It's very, very good. Because it is very dramatic. It's a very epic slash dramatic arc. Because it's like weaklings trying to do the impossible and fighting against the badass people and super OP and strong people and doing all they can, struggling super much to accomplish their objectives. So it's a very good arc. So that's what I was saying. When they get to that part in the Netflix adaptation, I have some good hopes it's going to be great. Because there's no way they are going to treat that without treating it seriously. And the things that they treated seriously in the show, I liked. We have talked about shows with bad beginnings. Yeah. Lost Canvas is fantastic. Lost Canvas is serious since the beginning. It's incredible. Gabriel, have I told you that I have been watching... I believe I told you that, right? That I have been watching YouTube videos that have been kind of reading together the mangas, because unfortunately Lost Canvas was not animated until the end. The only way for you to learn about how the story ends is by reading the mangas. I tried in the past reading the mangas, but then eventually I got tired, and I think that they got very confusing to me. The final parts of Lost Canvas are so confusing, and I was like getting frustrated because I was not being able to I wasn't being able to follow things up. And then I gave up. Like I got super close to finish reading Lost Canvas, but I gave up. And then I found this YouTube channel that they have been making the manga or turning the manga into videos. And then when there is somebody else reading that for you or commenting about it for you and then showing some pictures, just like for an episode or something, I thought it was more interesting. So I have been finally checking that out, and then I will finally see how the story ends. Full Metal Alchemist is definitely more memorable to you than Bleach. Bleach is also memorable, but the anime didn't finish it. You stopped watching Naruto and then you read the manga. It was a better experience. By the way, I know that the park got some problems, but I'm pretty sure we are doing it. Actually, the drop is crazy right now. Yeah, this was a big people drop. Wait, this one? But I don't think we are alright. Yeah, that's right, Rion. I was talking about this spin-off, maybe? I'm not sure if I can call it like a spin-off of Senseiya. Maybe it's not. It's just a different season, but it's kind of like its own thing. That's called Senseiya Lost Canvas. It is on Netflix, but it doesn't have an ending because it was not animated until the end. The only way for you to learn about the end is by reading the manga. And it is like one of the best Senseiya's anything I have ever seen in my life. But when I was reading the mangas, I lost some of my interest because they were getting super confusing. The story gets very weird near the end. I'm not saying it gets bad, but it goes very weird in directions that we were not expecting them to go. So I lost my motivation on finishing checking the story out until I found this YouTube channel that they were getting manga by manga, and they were making videos on the manga pages, and then there is someone reading what's going on, so it's easier for you to understand. Also, the person was giving you some colored art. For example, I believe he was getting some of the pages and then they were coloring the pages, adding some color to the black and white manga pages. So it's a pleasuring video to watch and to listen to. And it was helping me to finally get through those parts that I thought they were kind of bad for you to read on the manga, and or confusing as well. And then now I'm pumped to see how this story is going to end, and they are very close to finish it. Your favorite short story in Fables is when Jack steals a bag from Death by beating him at gambling and nothing dies? What? I don't really like the side stories, the main one is amazing. I highly recommend The Boys. Actually, it's still relevant criticism of 2019 America, if not even more relevant, with current politics and Marvel cinematic monopoly. What? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't like most of the side stories because they feel like fillers, but that one was great. You know what's crazy? One of my favorite Sensei arcs is a filler. It is the Asgard battle that happens uh, in the original in the original Saint Seiya. It's a filler, but I love it. It's so good. It was so remarkable to me. Gabriel, Sensei Omega has all the problems. I'm so sorry. That's the truth. Okay, I gotta say this. The Netflix adaptation is better than Sensei Omega. It's better than the movie that they released, the CGI movie. I liked this freaking adaptation more than those two things. Sensei Omega was trash. This Netflix adaptation at least has some good things. It's not perfect, and it's not better than the original, but when they treat the thing seriously, they do it well. They do it all right. Gabriel, I would tell you to do this. You should try watching the episode number 6, because that episode I couldn't see anything for me to complain about it. Maybe I wasn't paying too much attention and I should rewatch it, and then if someone says it, I would, oh, okay, that thing, okay. My mistake, my bad, that thing is bad. But from my first impression, at least, after watching it, I could not see any problems in the sixth episode. So if you don't want to watch the whole thing because it is bad, you are afraid of getting disappointed, give a shot at least to the last episode, the one that they are fighting Nikki. I didn't think that was a bad part or a bad fight. And they were treating the thing seriously for the whole fight and for the whole episode, that I thought it was good. It was not as bad as everyone was imagining it to be. Picture the bag is a bag that can hold anything, right? And anything that goes into it can no longer affect the world, so he throws death in the bag? That sounds like something I have seen in Dragon Ball. That there is like a bottle that can trap anything inside of it. In my opinion, Gabriel, it was much better than the CGI movie, man. Oh my god, the CGI movie was a nightmare. Omega, Sensei Omega was better than the CGI movie. In my opinion, the CGI movie was the worst ever done in Sensei. It's so bad. I will not be. I can't see myself being able to rewatch it. Sensei Omega, I could rewatch it, but I would not be very happy about it. But the CGI movie, I'm not returning to that at all. The major problem is the design choice, but you get used to it. You do get used to it. You should take a look on how great the gold saints they look like in this Netflix adaptation. They are looking very great. You do have a small appearance of Iolia, the lion saint. He looks amazing. Like the gold saint, the gold cloth. I was mind blown by how great it looks. But you do get used to the graphics. Don't worry about that. If you ignore the bad things like the fighting the military or Shun being a girl instead of being a boy this time, if you ignore those changes, those bad things, and also if you don't get too annoyed by the audacious dubbed, like I was saying, because they are referencing memes. They are using new slangs in there that were not a thing in the past. One example, Gabriel, is that if I recall it right, there was a moment that Jabu, the unicorn saint, Jabu, and I will say this in Portuguese because it is a Portuguese meme. Jabu said this: "Sabe de nada, inocente," in the middle of the show. And I was like, what? What are they doing with this Portuguese dub? So yeah, that it's kind of funny because they are adding a lot of crazy things in there. So yeah, it depends on how you get it, right? You can think that's unexpected and great, or you can be like, no, this was not in the original, they are ruining my show, or you just need to focus that it's for a new generation, it's not for our generation. So you gotta have a balance of that, or do a balance of that. Yeah, Sensei was by Toei. Do you guys pronounce it like toy? I always pronounce it like Toei or something like that, which is a walk-in advertisement. So are they very popular in other countries as well? Sensei is not, only in a few countries. But by the way, let me save the game because I need to change to transistor. I need to use this time that we have now to try to finish the game. But I want to check what's going on in the next level. I'm curious. Mineral Park. Oh, this looks terrifying. Oh, it is a near 2 level as well? To achieve a park value of at least 10,000 at the end of October year 2. I can say for sure that I have never played this level before. I don't remember this at all. Wait! Oh my god, we are building a park in a very limited area. Do we have the steel coaster? We don't have the steel coaster. Okay, this may be hard. This may be very hard, but I'm saving it for next Friday. You call it Toei? Yeah, I call it Toei or something like that. Guys, I will need to finish the stream very soon, or maybe I should say very quickly, right? Because I need to change things up, I need to change the title, I need to get Transistor on, and I'll be right back. And who knows, maybe we can do finish Transistor tonight. This looks like a cool challenge. It is. We have only 2 years. Park rating objectives are somehow tough because advertising won't really help you for anything. So you gotta be building things up here non-stop. And the area is very short. But I'm pretty sure we'll come up with something. Can I buy land? I probably can't. I can't. Yeah, but this is going to be our challenge for next Friday. By the way, the chat was moving fast. I think you missed your synopsis. I probably missed it. An amusement park is going bankrupt. They hire a high school student as manager to revive it. The goal is to attract. Wait, is that RollerCoaster Tycoon the anime or the animation? What the heck? The goal is to attract 5,000 visitors in 3 months. That's even worse than our objectives in here. So this is the new Netflix visual. Yeah, they are going CGI. This is the movie visual. Oh my god. Oh my god, the movie is so bad. I'm sorry if there is someone that likes that movie, but whew, I regret watching that on the cinema. I swear to you, I regret going to the movies to watch that. I was like cringing so much. You would watch that anime? I'm curious now. As a big RollerCoaster Tycoon fan, that sounds just like RollerCoaster. Is it a long anime, Yoda? What? Okay, maybe the movie is nicer because of the looks, but not because of the content. The content of the movie is so bad. But I still prefer the Netflix adaptation in my opinion. Maybe because I hate the movie so much that I can't see anything good about it. The Netflix visual is more like Toei. That's why you don't like Gabriel, but what can you do? Like it's their show. It's it's just like what I was saying earlier today regarding Pokemon. Um, that people were comparing the graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield with like the other game Netflix, not Netflix, the other game that Game Freak has been working on, Town. The graphics of Town, they look amazing. They look fantastic. Why is Pokemon not being treated in the same way? It's the same thing in here. Like, I know both games are by the Game Freak, but they do something about Pokemon that they don't want to change it too much. So they don't uh, I don't think they have the guts to make major changes to how Pokemon looks because it has been working for them for all of these years. So why change it completely? Why make it look great as, I don't know, Persona 5 graphics or Town or Dragon Quest? People were expecting better things, better graphics, but no, they have Sword and Shield, and then some textures are shitty looking, but it's close to the games in the past, to how they used it to look. Yeah, it's just like that. Partly the main character's little girly eyelashes. It's 13 episodes long. That's not too much. I could totally watch that. It's made by Kayon, Kayoeni. I don't know how to say that. If you recognize the studio, I don't. Let me write down the name of the anime. I could watch that. Um, how was it called again, Yoda? I'm scrolling back. Where is it? There you go. It is Amaji Brilliant Park. Now I need to find it. It's like old Max Steel shows made to sell toys. Is that the animation studio where a dude went on rampage and lit up the studio recently? Wait, isn't that the Japanese one? I heard about that. I didn't know it was caused by a person. I thought it was like an accident. Anime to sell toys are mostly shit? Well, Pokemon kinda is like that, right? That's why Pokemon can't stop. They can't have much time to develop a new game because they need to keep um, the trading card game going on, the plushies going on. They have the whole merchandising part of Pokemon to keep getting some feed, and also the anime as well. Because I would love to see them working harder and for more time on Sword and Shield before releasing, but they can't. Like they need to release it, or they are going to stop and cause problems to the other things that they have. But guys, I need to change the game, so I will be right back. I talk to you guys in a bit.